We've done this before. Woo! So I think we've started streaming, is that it? Okay. Right, we are here to witness a historic battle between Matt Gearing himself and Chris Dallas, both of whom I believe are seasoned Starcraft players, and both of whom play Zerg. Now, I'm more of a Terran man myself. I like siege tanks. Whoever wins, Kenneth wins.
You all good and ready, yeah?
I think so, yeah. I think everyone is hearing me now.
Control N. When you start the game, Control N. When the game started.
Okay. So, alright, Matt is telling me to press Control N when the game starts. I don't know why, but I'll do it. For all I know, something really stupid is going to happen. Matt's first brave decision seems to be entering the battlefield with the pink Zerg. That's a decision that will no doubt have no ramifications in the battle at all. I guess he's a Kerrigan fan. Dallas seems to like his Zerglings. Oh yeah, I'm there as the observer. This is all very complicated. I like how the maps nowadays have those like multiple views of the maps. You know, back in my day they used to just Control N. I guess that's it. I'm sure Matt will tell me if I didn't Control N at the right time or something. So let's see what these two mighty Zerg players do. I often like to send out my SCVs early on. I don't know how they... Also, what does GLHF mean? I'm going to have to find out about that later, I think. Of course, seasoned players always play in the faster mode. Involves a lot more anticipating your opponent's moves, I think, and kind of knowing beforehand how the battle is likely to unfold when the forces finally do clash. I think okay. Looks like I can move my cursor about and I can see anything I wish. I'm powerless. You know, I'm kind of like Uatu the Watcher in the comics here. I can see anything, but I'm powerless to intervene. Even though I could. You know, much like Uatu, I could potentially leave my throne and just, I don't know, beat up Dallas or something if I wanted Matt to win. I'm just saying I could take Dallas, I think. Actually, why aren't I talking about beating up Matt? He's smaller. What is that? Yeah. Excuse me, folks. What is that? Patrol or something on the expansion there, so they know when that guy's expanding. So Dallas has got himself a spawning pool. That's a pretty ordinary decision. It looks like Matt has got an early expansion and he's eager not to give his opponent the expansion. I'm just trying to make sure I've got which yeah, of course Matt's pink. That's the one. Yeah, to be fair, the pink spawning pool looks kind of nice when it's glowing like that. That's not so bad. Seems to have too many workers at the gas there. Strange move from Matt. I mean, he very much likes his I think Matt likes the way the Zerg work. He likes the hatcheries and he likes the expanding quickly, and he likes building a lot of forces at once too. You just take their eggs and kind of command them before they go. I can see it. I can see it. Personally, I kind of like the way the Terrans have guns. Guns have many nice advantages, including they flash nice. They flash cool lights. They make a cool banging sound, and I like the range as well. I'm a natural projectile coward at these things. But anyway, I suppose I'm supposed to be analysing the game to some extent. Oh, Matt seems to have... okay, I've seen most of the destruction of... Yeah, he's destroyed one of the gases there. Oh, no, wait. It's just... Is that Dallas destroying it? What is Chris Dallas up to? Why, though? I don't even understand. Oh, well. Yeah, it seems like, it's a... Oh, I see. Control N must have been to select no filter, I think? Yeah, then I see... okay, right. It was the filters I was supposed to turn off, which I guess I did. I did that in the loading screen. Hopefully it's okay. We got some Zerglings have come in to bugger up the drones. It's looking like pretty dangerous times there, actually. Might want to make some more Zerglings. Oh, what's this? We've got a floating icon by this hatchery that's Zergling. I guess that is his badge or something. Maybe when you're really good you get a cool badge or something, and maybe it's a spectator mode thing. I don't really even... Dallas is building queens. Now, Matt has been known to kick my ass using only queens. Twice, in fact. I think Matt may be on the run a bit somewhat. Some of his Zerglings are looking pretty sickly. Ooh, oh. That was Banelings attacking there. Banelings, I think, also have been known to ram into the back of Matt's Hydralisks and screw up his game royally. Some Roaches versus Zerglings here. We got... Matt should just call himself Matt. That would make things a lot simpler for me than calling himself Uroboros. How do you even say Uroboros anyway? Like in Resident Evil 5, they're all like Uroboros, but I always thought it was Uroboros because that's how they say it in an episode of Red Dwarf I saw once, and that's how I'm sticking to it. So I don't know if anyone at home knows how to say Uroboros, then you can send us an email somewhere. What's going on? We've got Banelings exploding things. Okay, I think Matt may have found a way to get a temporary reprieve from the madness here, but I don't know. It seems like Dallas may well still have the upper hand there in terms of army size and things. Matt will have to choose his next moves carefully, I think, to. Clearly, every unit counts in these intense matches. It's so weird to see all these icons as well, just, all these evolve icons and stuff, and it kind of looks just like I can click on them and actually have an effect on things, but I can't. I'm a mere impotent spirit that can gnaw on itself in the outer darkness, and nothing else. Oh, it's Baneling's killing his drones. Oh, and this game's winner is Dallas, a truly ruthless and effective opponent. Thank you all for listening to this first match. I guess there's going to be a second match in a minute. It's probably best 2 out of 3, probably. And I'll see you guys next time on the Ken Talks show. Over and out.
Keep going.
Oh, okay. My producer is telling me that I'm supposed to keep talking. Okay, can do. So I guess now we go to the score screen. Oh, let's have a look at the scores. Normally I can actually no. Yeah, actually let's just look at the. The next map. I don't know the next map. Oh, look at the lighting. Isn't that nice? Just look at the lighting. Sometimes when the battle is over, it's just nice to appreciate what how everything looks and stuff, and start to see the world of Starcraft 2 in a new light. I think my producer is trying to. Oh, I what? I just went back and I did return to game. Also, I did Control N at some point. Okay, so now we're back in the score screen. I think that's where I was supposed to go. And yeah, looks like Dallas did. Just looking at these stats, it looks like Matt had plenty of workers, but he didn't have enough army. So maybe that's a lesson for Matt to think on as we enter the next round. I guess I'll close this, and hopefully everything will just work as we go into the second round. Dallas seems to be saying things. Yeah, so I'm more familiar with Terran walling up, really, building the barracks and the whatever they call the supply depots and stuff. That's good stuff. Like I know in Warcraft 3 they used to make farms, but you'd build farms and people would use the farms as walls. So I guess in Starcraft 2 they've kind of developed that by making you able to put the supply depots down to the ground. You can use them as kind of a gate. And okay, I've been accepted into the acid plant. I like acid plant. There's cool green acid, and No, I'm not sure what to hope for here, actually. If Matt loses again, then we can all go home, and it's over. But at the same time, I don't know, we get a more interesting battle if Matt wins and they enter the third round. So it kind of depends. It kind of depends whether you wish you were somewhere else or not, really. So whoever just pray for whoever will give you what you want. And then, let's see here. I played a few demo rounds myself in Acid Plant. Played a lot of the single-player maps fighting AI opponents. But there's no replacement for the real thing, I think. You've got to find an opponent with one of those cunning human brains that will do strange things you never expect, and it really keeps you on your toes. And there's things... the computer opponents are somewhat predictable. I tend to find you can just build a lot of defences, and... I think my producer is trying to do something. Okay, yes, I'm signalling that the match is ready to start. Grand. In we go. I think I've told this story before in Discord or something, but back in the day, me and my brother would play Starcraft 1, and as the countdown went, we would each prepare an insult. Now, there was a lot to this game, because the longer the insult was, the less likely you'd have it all typed up before the countdown elapsed, and you had to press enter at the last possible second, so that your insult would come out last. But if you press too late, then your insult doesn't come out at all. And it was a good little minigame to play while you're waiting for that countdown. Perhaps my producer can tell me what GLHF means.
Good luck, have fun.
Oh, okay. I don't know if you heard that, folks. It stands for good luck, have fun. Maybe you all knew that. I don't know. And one of the things I really appreciated about the Zerg in StarCraft 2 that they tried their best, bless them, but in StarCraft 2 they're just so much wigglier and wrigglier and things. So the Nidus canals look amazing. Everything kind of quivers. You look at the weird fins on the drones and stuff. They just got more kind of blobbiness to them, you know, and they bleed better too. Maybe my favourite thing about the Zerg is just that when you shoot at them, they bleed, because, you know, in the end, you can't get past the lust for blood, can you? I mean, with the Terrans, you get explosions and a bit of blood, I guess, and Protoss, you kind of get blue explosions. It kind of depends what kind of pinata you like, I guess, the bloody kind, or the explodey kind, or the blue explodey kind. There's Overlords heading out as usual. Overlords are very useful for early scouting, I think, even though they're kind of slow. And they're detectors as well, so they give Zerg a reliable amount of detection, I think, that other races don't have quite so easily. You know, in Diablo there was a demon called an Overlord as well. I don't know, like Blizzard have a certain vocabulary, I think. Like they have certain cool words they like to use, like Corsair and Overlord and such, and they tend to use them in multiple games. I don't know if it's the doing of Chris Metzen or something. I would love to just talk to those guys in a bar somewhere about Diablo 2 or something, but today is not that day. What have we got? We've got some drone combat. I know with high skill players, drone combat, having probes and SCVs and stuff face off against each other can be can be a dangerous game. Every blow matters. Just 5 hit points on a probe or something can make all the difference against truly evenly matched opponents. We've got these two, yeah. Seems that Matt has got Dallas's drone on the run there. Yeah, seeing Dallas has got a bit more resources, I think. Let's see, we've got Zerglings on the move now from... yeah, we've got Zerglings on the move from Dallas. Oh, and also I seem to have units on now. I don't know if I'm supposed to have units on. I thought Control N was going to... Oh, so there's this? Oh, I'm not sure whether I'm supposed to have... I'll keep that on just because that's cool. It's got some kind of unit counting, supply counting thing. That's fine. Let's just have that on screen, shall we? It looks nice. It's got a little 2 in the centre there. Now, partly I'm hoping to see the mass queen strategy, but maybe against harder opponents, Matt can't afford to use silly bullshit strategies like the mass queen thing. And the thing about the queens is they have healing and stuff, so if you have a bunch of them, then you can shoot at one queen and all the other queens will heal it. And maybe I should be looking at the action, because Zerglings have engaged with Matt's little... Man, I didn't know they could squiggle together like that. Okay, he squiggled them together for protection. They huddle together like penguins. And we've got some new pink Zerglings, but I fear there is... oh no, there's more of them now. Pesky banelings coming at you. They kind of... The Zerglings with the little wings kind of remind me of beans for some reason. Little... Maybe it's lentils or something. I swear there's something that looks like that. The Zerg buildings are strange too. They come out with these little grubs out of them as well. Look at them all there, just splatting. Normally I see those things and it's my Marines just shooting them down. Oh, and Dallas wins. A sure victory from Dallas there. Truly a competitor in the world of Starcraft 2. Hmm? I'm informed by my producer that Dallas requires yet one more win. But so far, I'm not a gambling man, but I dare say Dallas is on a roll with this, and we'll have to see what happens in the third and final combat. Let's head to the score screen now to review all the important stats. What have we got? Ooh, Matt has higher unspent resources, and he seemed to be spent less time supply capped, but then I guess his forces were dying more, so maybe that was his problem. Now, this is a good example, actually, of how Matt has higher actions per minute. He's a good clicker, I'm sure. I've seen Dallas is already pretty scary with the clicking. I think I saw some of his clicking earlier. He knows how to click hardcore. For some reason, I'm seeing in the Starcraft chat as well, people are talking about how best to maintain a stable population growth, as you do. And they're not even talking about stable population growth of Zerg, they're just talking about actual human population growth. It's good to know. Okay, right, yeah. Never mind the declining birth rate. Let's play StarCraft 2, eh? That's the great thing about video games. You can just... in some ways, the good thing about video games is that they don't matter, which makes them kind of comforting, you know? There are many comforting things that actually don't matter, I think we can turn to in these times of declining birth rates. Well, here come more drones. Alright, so let's see what Matt does this time. So far, I haven't really seen anything truly wacky like the queens and everything. I think Matt might be actually taking a valuable time out of his game. Perhaps the reason Matt is losing is because he's taking valuable seconds to type GLHF into the chat. Oh, so it was to be on. Okay, the bar thing. Oh, okay. Right. So we've got visible units and a nice little bar that shows the supply being used now. That might help everybody understand what's happening better now. Oh, weirdly symmetrical games now. We've got two overlords, each heading out at roughly the same time. This is like yin and yang at work here. Except one of the overlords is pink. Make of that what you will. They've got cool animations too. It's easy to overlook the cool animations of overlords, like drooling on the screen and stuff. I think there's some single-celled organism that the overlord is based on. That there are horrible single-celled monsters, or like, at least microscopic things, and they're kind of horrible. And you size them up to regular size, and maybe they wouldn't even work in real life at regular size, but you can get some strange monsters when they're microscopic. And in the sea as well. Like there are some peculiar, ugly things down in the sea. Oh, I think my attention is being drawn to a team of drones and Zerglings heading in to try and head Dallas off at the pass, I believe. This looks like a desperate ploy. I think his overlord is going to find out what's going on. He's got a combination of Zerglings and drones. Needs every man he can get here, clearly. I'm kind of rooting for Matt with this strange attack of Zerglings and drones. What even is that? It's just a bunch of writhing drones, isn't it, really? Seems to have built some static defences. Yeah. No, I think Dallas's defences may have saved him there. But, I think Matt is building more Zerglings to try and keep the... Oh! Victory to Dallas once more. So I think that is all the victory Dallas needs. He's proven himself well. Well, my ass was kicked by Matt, so I dread to think the man who can kick the ass of Matt. So, right, let's return to the score screen now and review. I think what happened here is that Matt lost, and he shouldn't have lost quite so much. I think he's spending pretty much exactly the same amount of time supply capped as last time. Oh, there we go. Yeah, that's a good graph. It's a handy graph. It's always kind of fun to see the moment where the tide turns and things really go south for your guys. But, there it is. Two lines that tell a vivid story. I just wish I knew what that vivid story was. I guess. Well, thank you for tuning in, folks. This has been the first and perhaps the only Betdigital Kenneth Dunlop Zerg versus Zerg, Matt versus Dallas stream. And good night to you all, and bless us all.